Hey guys, so today I want to do with Hbar what I have done with several other crypto, some that I own, some that I don't, which is I'm going to give you an early price prediction in this video in the next few moments, as well as I want to pull up the chart and show and explain where I think are really good entries for either DCAing if you already own the crypto, or if you're looking at starting a new position sometime soon, where I would look at getting in. Obviously, none is financial advice. At most, it's entertainment and education to give you guys a thought of my thought process and hopefully get something from it. So I just kind of want to dive right in. We'll do a very quick overview of what HBAR is because that could be quite lengthy as it is. And we'll talk about some numbers and pull up some charts. Let's hop right into it. Okay, so HBAR, if you've been around this channel, I'm a huge fan, right? A lot of people are. It's popular, makes a difference since we're in coming to altcoin season, wherever you want to call that we are. We're definitely momentum is certainly building, right? So I've had a few people ask slash tell me that it's too late to get in new positions, and I'm going to call bullshit on that. It really comes down to most of it's probably too late if you're looking for a 25x plus, aside from memes on very sketchy websites and exchanges. But if your expectations or desires are more of a 3x to a 10x, there's a bunch of options still. Even more when you compound profits, right? Remove profits from one crypto that you make, move it into another that hasn't really bounced yet. And I guess that's why I would look at opening up a new position in anything right now. Um, or if we have a little black swan event, I hope we don't. I'm not putting any of that juju out there for it to happen, just an example. And things come down, then we might have other entries. But for HBAR, this is one of my favorite crypto companies out there. Good old Hedera. It is the most versatile crypto company out there. They are in more narratives and more styles of in more industry than any other crypto, and I would love to hear something else. I mean, they are in everything from hand-to-hand combat with karate combat. They've been sent out into outer space on satellites. They are being used as inside of NVIDIA chips for CPUs and GPUs. They have been used by drones for positioning systems. They have been used by food and beverage companies. They're going to be used for tokenization. They're looking to be used for CBDCs. HBAR is used for damn near everything. And it has had one hell of a run so far. And it all really depends on when you got into it, right? Bear market lows were about 4 cents, a little bit less. And so we're already at this point when we're around 23, 24 cents, we're 5, 6x into it. I still think we have a good 3 to 5x to go. A lot of people say a lot more. So right there's my price prediction, guys. I think that on the very bearish side, we're looking at 75 cents. I think we're going to break new records for sure on this one. Very confident. I don't really see it going too much past $1.25 this bull run. And I'm talking about the next 1 to 5 months. Expand it longer and price prediction goes up higher on some of these, including HBAR. But call it at February 26th, the latest. I'm calling top 125. My thoughts, my opinion. And that's where I am building my entries and my selling targets around. If yours is different, cool. Have it different. Stick to your guns. But I just thought it's important to know what my prediction is, or when I talk about fib levels, where to get to, where I would enter, etc. Ask any questions in the comment section down below at any point, and let's pick up the chart to see where would I DCA into, or think is a good part to start a new position. So I feel like it's always important for me to point out that if you really like a crypto, you think it's at a good spot, you can always just buy the damn thing, right? I'm a big fan personally of setting buy limits and sell limits because I bought and sold so many times in my sleep that way. And that's what I'll mostly talk about. So if you think you've been looking for an entry in an HBAR, 25 cents isn't a bad spot. It could go down a little bit lower. It really comes down to how much do you want to bet on it? That's all up to you. So what we're looking for right now is this is on the 3-month chart. Is again, you can buy right now 25 cents. It went up since last time I looked. I think I said 23 a moment ago, but we're at 25 and a half cents. Awesome. There was a recent huge buy. We can see it right here. We can probably zoom in and see it better. We had a huge buy right here just the other day, and the prices have held so far. I mean, that's not too long from now. It's a day, but cool. We're moving forward in the right direction. I think there's still a decent chance it's going to come back down to this level of 23 and a half cents. And this is the safety zone to me. Let me expand this so you can see a little bit more. So right here is around the 23 and a half zone. And I personally have no interest in DCing more in H bar. My bags are full. I got in at a good average. I'm happy with it. Um, but it doesn't mean if I take profits from, let's say, Aerodrome or something else that comes up higher, or first, let's say Aerodrome doubles right now and gets closer to $3. All right, I might move some profits into H bar to compound another 3 to 5. It's an option, depending on how high you think your other crypto can go. But regardless, if you wanted a safe-ish entry, I would look at 23 and a half cents. And the reason why, again, if you've seen these videos with me, I'm not going on the very micro details to look at double tops and head and shoulders patterns. I think that's great for if you're day trading, looking for a time frame of a couple hours to a couple of days at most. That's not what I'm using this for. This is more of a gross motion of where does the general market think that's a good price to get in. And that means resistance and support zones. And you see the lines I put through is right where there is a crap ton of resistance and supports recently. And I think there's a decent chance it's going to hop back down to 23 and a half cents. The next big catalyst isn't for a couple of weeks when we get the supposed rate cut. And at that point, if it goes the way that's planned or expected, we're probably done seeing, we might be done seeing 23 cents for a while. If you want to take a little bit larger of a risk to where you might miss out, there's been a lot of resistance and support frequently around the 17 and 19 cents. I'm going to have to expand this a little bit more. If we look on the 6-month chart, is where you see it a lot, where we had a lot right around the 18-cent marker. And this would have to be, I don't call it a crash. That term is overused in the market. But if there's a strong correction or something that happens in macroeconomic news for a day, potential could drop down to 18 cents. And I think outside of a major traumatic event, that's probably the most realistic low we're going to get. But always hedge your bets. There's another good spot down here if you think it's going to come down this low. I personally don't. In the upper 15 cents. But they're good spots to get into. And if you're ever unsure, let's say you have $1,000 you're willing to throw in, you can always throw in half or part of it now and see what happens after a weekend or after we hear more tariff news that they did or didn't happen, etc. And you can always play with your averages that way. But one other thing I ended up doing, I don't think I put the lines on the chart here, but I went ahead and I did Fibonacci levels for where H bar is. At the time I did the levels, it was at about 23 and a half cents, just to get back up to the all-time high of 57 cents. It hit back in 2021. And let me show a chart real quick so you don't have to listen to me solely when I do this. We have a little chart right here of the Fibonacci levels. So in short, this is where look for spots of likely resistance or support. And if you're into leverage trading, these are good areas to combo with 20-day, 50-day, 200-day EMAs. But they're levels I would be looking for. So what we have is calls down here the 23 cents. And you'll see this on the charts of areas of resistance and support. Though we usually see one around 27 cents, just from knowing this crypto, I can tell you that. Next one is around the 30-cent marker. Every time we've had a big push, we've kind of blasted past that one. And we usually get to that 36, 37 cents. And we've hit that one a couple of times. So I personally think the next big jump we have, potentially September rate cut, I expect us to hit at least this 36-cent marker. Relatively confident on that. Again, I'm pulling out of doing leverage trading right now. I want to go a little bit more risk adverse for the end of this the bull run essentially. And after I hit my personal financial goal, I will go ahead and increase risk with leverage trading. But that would be a good spot for me where I would look into it is that if we, in a couple of days before the next Fed meeting, if I feel like there's going to be a rate cut, looking to see a future or a long around maybe just under the 36 cent, I think has some decent value for it. And that would be a big jump. Again, do your own research, think about what you want to do. And then we're going to have other resistance at 40, 44, and 49 cents just to get back up to that 57 all time high. And depending on where we're in the market, we'll either touch around 57 or we'll blast past it. I do expect a big resistance right here at this 49-cent marker just because of 50 cent. It's an emotional mental blockage when we get to that whole numbers of fives and zeros. And I did go ahead and expand this a little bit more for going the extension levels past the all-time high of where we're looking at afterwards of 66 cents, 70 cents, 77. And again, for me personally, do as you guys will, this is going to be a big selling zone for me. Again, maybe you think it's going to hit $3. If you do, then you're probably not looking at this yet. My average also came in at about 6 cents. So at that point, I'm what, a 12x up? I'm selling. I'm taking profits off the table. I took a little bit the last time we hit 30, around 33, 34 cents, and I started a new position ASM in that one. I will definitely be taking another good position around the 77 marker. And I think I even have a sell limit somewhere right around the 49 for a little bit as well. Okay, I think it's a good time to take profits off because I really only think there's about 3 to 5x left. So I want to take some profits, move it to other crypto later that I think have a higher potential of going further. So there it is, guys. Just a real quick on my beloved Hbar, my thoughts, my opinions of where I think it's going to DCA into and where to look at for the near future. And those were my thoughts of entries and the next couple of price targets. I did look, for me, it was at the next one. If you guys are curious or want to lambast me for no reason in the comments, my next sell limit for Hbar is around 44 cents. When I took a look at it, I'm going to pull a little portion at that point. And the next one was right around 74 cents. So I wanted to go right before that 75. Again, tends to be a mental block. I'm open to change it and also have a decent bag to continue forward. But once it gets to that dollar, for me, since I think it's only going to hit to $1.25 candle wick up, I'm going to be 85 or so percent out at that point. But that's my thoughts. I'd rather pull out a little early and think, wow, I could have made more money, but I still made a crap ton, versus holding it for too long, round tripping, or just having to deal with all the emotions of the swings. But it's a system that works well for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If there's any other crypto that you want me to do a little version of this for, let me know that as well. I still have a list of some of my other crypto I haven't done yet, as well as other crypto I just like that I don't currently own. But let me know your thoughts and your desires down in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys all again soon. Peace.